Hello, this video will be a guide on how to use LoggerPro for video analysis. First thing you need to do is come up here to Insert, click Movie, and then you need to navigate to wherever your movies are saved. Once you find the video file that you're looking for, you can go ahead and open that. It will open up here in LoggerPro. First thing I'm going to do is come down here to the bottom right hand corner, select the three buttons that will open up the video analysis toolbar. First thing I do, we'll come over here to the yellow ruler to set the scale. I'll click that, and then I'll click and drag on my meter stick to set the scale for the video. It's already 1 meter, so I can hit OK. The next thing I do will be come up here to set origin. Anywhere I click on the screen, it will place the origin. I can put it at this person's feet, can put it at this person's feet, or in my case, I'll put it at the end of the meter stick. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start tracking the motion. So I'm going to add a point, and I'll start with this person. I'll just do the center of her headband, and every time I click, not only does it add a data point up here, but it advances the movie frame by 1 frame. So if I click again in the same spot, it advances 1 more frame and adds another data point. You can see the time advance. Every time I click in the center of her headband, it adds another point to the data table and add another point on the video, and continues to advance the movie. The 2 students are waiting for me to tell them to go. So it'll be several clicks. I can see them starting to move, starting to lean forward. So I'm going to continue to track this student's headband as she begins to move forward. It's very important that you are careful with where you put the dots. You need to make sure that you're tracking the same point on a person as they travel. I'm going quick so that the video is not too long, but ideally you want to take your time, be careful, and make sure that you're being very accurate as to where you are placing the dots. I'm going to continue past the point where the 2 students cross each other's path. I am not going to go until the end of the movie. I'll just stop right there. So I can click on this white arrow to select point. That will prevent me from adding any extra points. I can resize the movie and click on this graph. The red dots show me the horizontal position, that's the X in meters, and the blue dots show me the Y in meters. If I right click in the white space and click on graph options and click on axis options, I can uncheck the Y position. I do not care about her vertical motion. I only care about the student's horizontal or X motion. So I'll uncheck the Y, select done, and the blue dots disappear. I'll resize my graph so I can select the movie again. I'm going to take the movie, and you can either just slide it to back it up, or you can back it up all the way to the beginning. I want to track this student's motion. So now I come over here to set active point. I'm going to add another point series. Instead of just XY, when I click on Add Point Series, now there's XY, there's also X2, Y2. And in my data table, if I were to select this, if I were to select the data table and expand this, you can see not only do I have all the XY data for my first person, but now I've got X2 and Y2 data for my second person. So once again, I'll kind of slide this over so I can see the data points. As I come up here and click Add Point, now I'm going to track the second person. When I put and click on the movie, You can see the data points being added to not only the data table, but also to the graph in the background. She is also waiting for me to say go. So there's a good portion where she's not moving. She now starts to lean forward, starts moving. I will track her position as well. Every time I click on the movie, it adds another data point. You want to make sure that you're very accurate, that you're tracking the same point on the person and placing the dots in whatever position. I'm choosing to use the line between her hair and her face at the top of her head that I'm tracking. Sometimes the movie gets stuck, so there's a chunk right there where I missed a few points, so you may need to go a little bit slower. You can also see the dots from the first person as I go frame by the video. So I'll go ahead and stop there, come up here to the set active select point so I don't add any dots to the video. Click on the graph behind it. You can see not only do I have X in meters, but now I have X2 and Y2. Once again, I don't care about her vertical motion. I only want to know the X for the two different students. So I'll right-click in the white space, select Graph Options, and the same way that I unchecked Y, if I slide down, I can uncheck Y2. And when I click Done, those brown dots disappear. I can grab the axis and move it down. I can grab this axis and move it up. I can see that this is the origin. I see that one student started to the right, the positive values of the origin. Another student started to the left, the negative values of the origin. One student's got a positive slope, moving to the right. The other student has a negative slope, moving to the left. This point right here is where the two students cross paths. This area of bad data is where my movie kind of slowed down and I put some bad points. From this point, I can right-click Graph Options. I can come in here to Graph Options and give my graph a title. You can call this whatever you want it to. Kind of call this face-to-face. You can call this B1 or B2 or B3, B4, whatever part of the lab that you're working on. When I click Done, the title will appear here, and I have X and X2. I can give those different names, but for right now, this graph, along with this video, is what we're looking for. Sometimes it's helpful to come up here to Page and do Auto Arrange, and we'll kind of resize your windows so that you can see the video, you can see your data table, and you can see your graph. I can see that the two students were moving in opposite directions, and they both have opposite slopes. Hopefully this video helps, and if you have any questions, just ask me in class. Thank you. Once you're done analyzing the video, I'll come up here to File. I will save this, and you can save this in wherever you want it to be. You've got 11 different videos that you need to do, so you will have 11 different LoggerPro files. So I'll save this as face-to-face. You can save it as whatever you need to. Once I'm done saving this video file, the video, the data, and the table, I'll come up here, I'll do New File, and I'll start over again, Insert Movie, find out wherever my movies are located. You should have 11 different movies. So I'll go in here, select a different movie, open that one up, and now I've got a different video, and I'll do all the same things again. I'll set the scale, set the origin, and track both students' motion, and then delete the Y values, so I just keep track of the horizontal motion. You'll need to do this 11 times, but once you get the hang of it, it should go pretty quick. Thanks.